To the viewers out there, how are you doing? And welcome to Hot Tech, where we talk sports, and hope you enjoy the show today. I wasn't surprised at all because we've been saying this over and over that we're going back to the old format. Yeah, and of course it happened when it happened. There was an engagement between the State Minister of Sports and the Minister of Education and Sports, that is Janet Kataha, Musabe. They had an engagement, and of course they came up with the final decision. Let's go back to the old format. It was order from above, by the way. Agogo can't tell us, the fans did this, the football game is for the fans. It was order from above. And first, yes, and first and foremost, actually, Clive explained it yesterday so well at their show on TV. And if the people who know Magogo are like, it didn't accept it by like, let me change the format because the fans have said so and so. No. First of all, we're just waiting for Vipers to miss their third game. What next? Vipers is now out of UPL because the rules say if you miss 3 games, you're out of the league. Yeah, it was waiting for that opportunity. But order came from above. We are right now, we are in times of campaigns, in times of elections. The government wouldn't make a mistake of not seeing funds into the pitches. That was going to be a big blunder for them. They're like, do you know what? We're in bad times. Let's follow what the fans want, and it's order from above. Whoever says let's use the old format, you have to use the old format. They did their consultations, and guess what? All the people were saying, let's go back to the old format because the new format isn't working for us. The clubs are making a lot of losses. Yeah, the fans are not attending games. Mm-hmm. Hence, yes, as the government. As, mm, how do you start getting workers? How do you start getting workers to come attend your games who don't even know about the game of football? You know, even some ladies were just sleeping as the game is going on. Whatever KCA did was completely off, man. Yeah. Of course, the students, I'm happy. The students were brought on board to come attend games, and we saw students of Chambogat mobs watching the games. But the workers, the old ladies who don't know about football, they'll be like, "Tujja kuyiga munange, tujja kuyiga nga tugenda maaso." Really? At times, that's what our clubs do. You be like, what? We are suffering as a nation. But of course, the decision was made, and of course, it was order from above. The football president had to accept whatever the case is. Be like, you know what? For the love of the game, let's just accept. Let's go back to the old format. And it was announced actually on Saturday at around, let me say, at around 4:05. Yeah, it was. He announced it in the press conference, and of course, we expected that decision to be made because with what we've been hearing from different people, from different stakeholders, are insisting they're going back to the old format regardless of what and what. They'll go back to the old format. And what next? It happened. And now the fans are going to go back on pitches to watch the games. Yeah.
Absolutely. For me,
You
my
shouldn't be
take
surprised
on
when Ham Stadium is full.
yeah, my
It's
take
up-
on this was
Yeah.
with what I saw the way for far. For me, mine. That's why for me I was speaking about governance. Yeah, people would ask, did FIFA have the power to roll out a new league format? It does have the power, but this was an overreach. Mm? Most of this is supposed to be done in the General Assembly, where every stakeholders is involved for a league format to be passed, and also there has to be extensive consultation. Yeah. Yes, right. FIFA has the powers in the XCOM to
True.
roll out this, but this was an overreach of power, an
Mm.
overuse of
Yeah.
authority. Yeah, because if not, it was not done in its proper ways for it to really
Mm.
have credibility to be rolled out. And I think that's how they knocked. Yeah, they rolled it out, they rushed it out,
Yeah.
and it met a lot of uh, roadblocks along the way. Yeah, so anyway, that was about the league format. This weekend also, you remember the fans were gearing up to go and celebrate in Chitende. Before already the moods were we go and support Vipers in the CAF Champions League. You got a chance to watch that game. What do you make of the whole dynamics of the game, the gameplay, possession? We thought Vipers would really be a bit aware of what is at stake. They lost concentration, and those goalkeeping errors. Chigundu missing that cross, and also Ndahiro really connecting himself.
I didn't watch it like how I didn't watch.
Yes, go on.
Mm. I didn't I didn't like give it all the time to watch the game because I was in between. I was in between basketball, Namongo Blazers,
Mm,
Arsenal was playing as well as Vipers. So I was watching it in bits.
mm,
Of course, were the first team to score a beautiful goal. It was a good, good setup, and it was a beautiful goal scored. But I would say the senior players didn't turn up like how we expected them to turn up. Yeah, in that game because they were home and we expected them to turn up so strong. We'd be like, you know what, we can take down Dynamo, but they didn't turn up like I expected them to turn up. At the end of the day, of course, we saw an own goal, then a beautiful goal from the Kenyan striker who scored and
Emma.
celebrated. Of course, we because I saw him handle the flag, waving it to.
Mm. I think that was in tribute of Raila
It was a
Odinga.
beautiful goal scored.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw a beautiful goal scored from the Kenyan striker, but Vipers top players didn't turn up like I expected them to turn up. My question was like, were they tired? Uh,
oh, what's the fatigue
what
of
will
the
happen?
league?
Yeah,
Some
but
people were saying it was the fatigue of the
it's not
league,
the end of
the new league format.
no. It's not, no, no, not that because most of them haven't played anything. I think the six players for Vipers were national team duty.
Mm,
Yeah, uh, but they have a second leg, and I expect them to turn because the game ended 2-1. They can go away and they score the two goals from away, and they can still win that game. Yeah, so I would expect them to have a good fight and win the game as well from
mm,
away.
mm.
But at the end of the day, we need to see Vipers into the Champions League in the group stages. That's what we all want to see. But I was just happy seeing the fans onto like at the stadium. A lot of fans showed up to support Vipers. What did this show? Be like, you know what? We're in support of what Vipers is doing, and in support of Dr. Lawrence Miller refusing to play your league, even if you do what or what. We are supporting him, and we shall be watching his games. If you still insist on the old format, we don't care. We shall be seated at home. On the new format, we don't care. We shall be seated at home, and we just come and watch Champions League. If they qualify for Champions League, we shall watch Champions League in T10 than coming to watch that new format, which doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah. So again, we have to run through this the Uganda Cranes game that happened in Algeria. uh, I mean, I think I've not seen Uganda Cranes really play with maturity like they did in that game, especially away in Maghreb. That was remarkable. I know we lost 2-1, but holding the Desert Foxes up to the 80th minute, that was quite remarkable in terms of defensive play. I mean, we could talk about a lot. Salim Magola had a very good game. Uh, Tobik, Sibik, brilliant. The whole back line was okay. The midfield of Aucho's command. I mean, we really played well up to the 80th minute. What do you make of this game, and what can we learn from this going forward?
Now, people are seeing that Uganda cranes can go further and further more compared to how we could talk about the cranes in the previous years. The kind of football being displayed in this campaign showed something else. Leaving China aside, in these qualifiers, the kind of game we played in the World Cup qualifiers is something so incredible and so different. We saw the maturity in the midfield, maturity and defense. We saw, actually, someone said if Salim Magolad had come up early, like I'd joined the team as early as possible, would have considered those goals in Nambole. The Algeria goals considered in Nambole. He would have made some good saves. But you know, things happen, and people are like, would have been qualified for the World Cup if he had come up early, and if the Civic is well, like into the squad as possible. You know, we'd have qualified for the World Cup because we're in a group, and yeah, we're threat to Algeria, whereby we saw the penalties being scored, whereby the referee didn't even allowed to go to the video assistant referee like VAR, check what will happen. Was that no? My decision is fine. Yeah, my decision is final. It's a penalty. You know, the first penalty was completely off. Second penalty, 50-50, I would say that. But the first one was completely off. No one touched that player.
Salim Jamal and Maura. But yeah, it's just that's what in Africa we call home advantage. Yeah, that's what they call a home advantage. So anyway, let's skid a bit. We had the NBL playoffs.
But go on. To me, this has been the most successful. Yeah, this has been the most successful campaign we've been at as Uganda Cranes. The kind of game displayed in this World Cup qualifiers, the 18 points we got. Of course, they removed the 6 points against Somalia because the rule came in like the people are down up, like the last teams of the table that considering them. So they removed the 6 points. But there's way CAF played us. I didn't understand it. They removed the 6.
All right. Yeah, Hudson. You go?
Yeah.
We'll start with basketball.
Yeah.
So with the NBA playoffs, we had the 4 teams: Jetty Jaguars, and the JKL Dolphins. Also have the City Oilers and Namble Blazers, the repeat of last year's finals. Does this surprise you? And what do you make? And what are your expectations in the finals?
I wasn't surprised at all with the teams which are in the finals. For JKL Lady Dolphins, this is their 4th straight finals in a row, like 4 seasons in a row. Of course, they've been the finals 6 times. This is their fourth in a row, of course. I wasn't surprised with them being in the finals because they're champions. They are champions of last season. And we watched a beautiful, beautiful semi-finals we've watched before up against UCU. Of course, Shadia Nasanga killing UCU in the 4th quarter by scoring 8 unanswered points. And guess what? She ended up with 11 points, but she had a good fight in the 4th quarter. She really showed the skills of netball in that game. I watched the game, and after the girls lost, of course, I just headed home to have a rest, but it was some interesting basketball I watched. For the side of the men, of course, they had to postpone the finals because Blazers was going to the Road to Ball qualifiers. And of course, the finals are tipping off this Friday on 24th of October. We call upon the fans to come and turn up at Lugoga and watch some good basketball because Jetty Jaguars up against JKL Led Dolphins. Some interesting game to watch out there. Then 10-time champion City Oilers up against Amongo Blazers. Another interesting game to watch. And the games, of course, are starting at 7 p.m. Ugandan time. So that's how it is. And I'll give my predictions after the first game. After the first games, right now I can't give my predictions after the first games because I want to see how these teams are playing. Because regular season basketball is different from playoffs basketball. So I want to watch how these teams play in the first season. I'll be like, okay, this team can win the championship or this one can't win the championship. I'll make my predictions after watching the first games of the playoffs because it's best of seven. So I need to make to really watch the game and analyze it so well.
And how about road to Bal? Road to Bal, and among Blazers, finally making it to the Elite 16. Last time, last episode when we were here, you talked about, there's something you mentioned that resonated well with me. You talked about that city really shopping top players, uh, top performers, and that was witnessed with their game against Nam Blazers in the
Mm.
BAL qualifiers, road to BAL.
Yeah, I think they made either 6 or 7 of them plus the coach as well. So those are big signings they made, and some of them are even champions of in the bar. The first quarter, Blazers of course led the game comfortably well. I think the Dacity was still studying Blazers. After this first half, we saw something different in the third quarter and fourth quarter. Though it became kind of individual basketball, not team basketball, from the Blazers side. I saw some players being so selfish. Instead of passing the ball, they were trying to force moves. And of course, at the end of the day, Blazers lost the game. Not with a big margin, but of course, we put up a good fight as Blazers. They lost the game, but in their second game, of course, they came up strong. Of course, they wanted that win to qualify for the Elite 16, which they did. Of course, it was a comfortable win with the blank scoring. To me, I'll call it a career high to me from him. 39 points in that game, and of course, GB and Abu having 13 assists in that game as well. Uh, we saw our local best players showing up in that game and delivering. I saw Arthur Wanoto doing a good job. I saw Ochera doing a good job as well as Moses Mugisha playing some good basketball. Ivan Mwezi was somewhat silent, but of course he delivered as well because with his experience, I know he can do something. People were asking questions why uh, Tony Delivered isn't playing. Why is the coach? Tony Delivered is injured, and of course, according to the FIBA rules, of course, Escondata qualifies to be a senior coach, but there's a certificate he didn't do, a course he didn't do because he was busy with work commitment. So that doesn't let him be on the touchline as a head coach. Hence, Tony Driba who did the certificate, the course made it he is eligible to being on the line as a head coach. So people asking why Escondata is on the line, just because of the FIBA rules of like the courses of like how we see it in football as well. How we see it in football as well. And of course, they were the FIBA guys were last here, I think in 2018, they haven't yet come back to carry out more courses as well. So that's why you see all Ghana coaches sometimes suffer when it comes to when you go for international tournaments because they need that paperwork. Yeah, that's why he wasn't on the line. But when I was talking to some of the senior coaches, they're like, he's eligible to be on the line, but because he didn't finish up with the course, he didn't do that course. That's why he's not there. But with all other courses he has done online, he can be on that line. But due to the FIBA rules, they wouldn't let him be on the line. Yeah,
More like CAF B, CAF A license in football,
yeah,
something
yeah, yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, so Sitola is eventually finally bounces back against Jabal basketball with a monstrous win. We had Jimmy now leading by example, recording 13 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 rebounds and 11 assists. Steven Ochera, 13
Mm.
points, 5 rebounds, and 4 steals. Gisa also chipped in with 11 points, 3 rebounds. Jason, Obasa all contributed 10 points apiece. Banza 9 points, the point guard. Murray 8 points and 2 assists. I mean, they bounced back against Jabal.
They just stamped them. There's a team from Comoros which replaced Dynamo of Burundi. Of course, there's a good thumping. We saw some highlights, some crazy highlights, facials from a blank, crazy dunks as well coming in. It was just a showcase. And at the end of the day, this is what we want to see from our Ugandan teams. Be like, you know what, God doesn't out there and represent us. So from Namongo Blazers, uh, having such a comfortable win, and of course the local players standing up and delivering as well. So this we expect now in the Elite 16. Of course, I'm sure they'll make additions into the team, and we shall see different adjustments. Yeah, different adjustments as well.
They should.
Because when I was looking at this team, we had more guards as compared to forwards. So they need to reduce on the guards, and we have forwards. Yeah. So all the best for Namongo Blazers in the Elite 16, and of course wish them all the best so that they can qualify for BAL, and we see how it all comes up at the end of the day, how they represent the nation. Or the nation is now behind them. Nothing like this is Namongo Blazers, this is Oilers, the beef. No, this is different because if Namongo Blazers goes for BAL, Uganda gets something out of it as well. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Namong Blazers have been really knocking on the door. Two finals, losing and also missing out on BAL against the Oilers. I mean, they have been really. This is their time. You know, they should really take full use of it. I also want to conclude that this is something that piqued my eyes. I thought like we'll discuss it here. I also wanted to hear your opinion on this. Uh, we have players, European players with African descent. The way you see Tobik Sibik, uh, Divine Mukasa on our side. On the Ghanaian side, they had Hudson Odoi and also Ketia. So after we've always had that, and there's also an interesting story that I followed. It was Sunday Olise. If you know Sunday Olise of Nigeria, they were having a discussion with Yakubu, Ikbena. You know these players. They were like, man, Yakubu played the qualifiers in the World Cup. Toil played and went and played in Sudan when there was war. They went and played in Liberia when there was war. But when they qualified and time for naming the squad, there are these players who don't take part in the qualification and now want part of it. They are good players. For example, if Kvaratskhelia, the PSG winger, the name is he has Georgian heritage, but now he's claiming roots to uh, South Africa to go and play in the World Cup. I want to know your view on this. Man, this has raised a lot of eyebrows on social media.
Actually,
Yeah, Ghanaians are like,
actually,
the coach
for
should
him, it's
not
not
bring
true.
these players.
Actually, for him, it's not true. It's not true.
Mm.
The PSG winger, it's not true because he has played for Georgia over, I think, 140 games.
Mm.
So he's not eligible to play for South Africa because he has played more games. I think he has played more games in Georgia, so he can play. And when I was reading through the article, they said that was an AI video. It wasn't him who said it was an AI video. Now for Ghana, the two players we're talking about is Nketiah and Hudson Odoi.
Yes, yeah.
The coach came out 6 days back after qualifying for World Cup, and the killer said, if I ever summon the player and they didn't turn up and they did get back to me, I made phone calls, I called you in requesting you to come and play for Ghana and he did turn up. Please don't waste your time. I won't put you on the team. I'll use my players who have played with me into the qualifiers where I've reached right now. We can't reach the World Cup, then we start seeing players coming out, like, you know what, I'll play for Ghana, I'll play for this one. Yet we've been calling you and you've been turning us down. Yeah, so they're now serious. They're like, you know, if you have enough play, because look at the Ghana team. You have Kudos, you have Semenyo.
But
You have good players who can really deliver.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
Isari, the
You know?
keeper,
Yeah,
stuck.
true.
It's stuck. There's no
Yeah,
need.
even I think even William, I think
Yeah,
even Williams of thingy
yeah.
of
He
Atletico Madrid.
played qualifiers. Yeah, he played qualifiers. He has been active for
Yeah,
Ghana.
yeah, yeah.
That one deserves it. Yeah, he has been
Yeah,
active for
yeah.
Ghana.
Of course, for him, he came back after in the previous World Cup. He was back. He came back for his country. Yeah. So I would side with what the coach said, and of course, it's a good decision made. So we wait for who's going to be summoned on the national team as they go for the World Cup. Yeah. But if they play the qualifiers, the likes of Nketi and that's not doing, of course, people will be like, okay, they deserve to be in the team. But if there was someone and they didn't turn up, why should I include them on the team? Unless one of my players is injured and I need them on the team. But if my player is not injured, no, I don't want to see them there.
Yeah, absolutely. Then also in some news, we had Kiplimo making history with a stunning win in Chicago. As we conclude, Kiplimo is transitioning from track and field to the marathon, and this transition is actually better than Cheptegei. Cheptegei actually came fifth in Netherlands, but Kiplimo really demolishing the park in Chicago. I mean, if you look at their marathon pass, they've all been doing track and field, but right now they're all transitioning into the marathon. But it's like Kiplimo is the one that is ahead of Cheptegei. Sorry, Cheptegei. Yeah. So this is it. Uganda's Jacob Kilimo proved that inexperience is no barrier to greatness after storming to victory at the 2025 Bank of America Chicago Marathon on Sunday and setting a national record. National means is the best marathon runner now so far in Uganda, and that is something that happened over the weekend. Do you have anything to comment on that as we also close and conclude?
I would say congratulations to Kiplimo on winning the Chicago Marathon. It was a good fight, and of course, we saw the Ugandans in Chicago celebrating and screaming, and of course, doing everything. They even ran until to the finishing line. They're like, we need to see our Ugandan, and we need to give him the flag. And one of the ladies gave him a flag to celebrate that win. For Cheptegei, of course, in the Valencia Marathon, of course, the first one he struggled. This is the second one he has run, of course, and he goes number 50. But
Yeah, not
yeah,
bad, not bad.
of course he had the good time as well, and of course we expect uh, a better fight in the next marathon. He's going to participate in. He may be amongst the top three as well. So at the end of the day, uh, transitioning from track and field to marathon is not something easy.
Yeah,
But they're trying to prove a point that you know what we can
good
do.
approach.
Yeah, we can do this and we can make it. We can make it. Yeah.
All right, all right.
Of
That's all.
course, this week, this week NBA tips off tonight. Actually, NBA tips off on Wednesday. So the NBA fans, hope you're ready. On top of that, because there's Champions League football as well today.
Yeah.
Uh, the games are on today. Yeah. So it's a busy week generally. It's a busy schedule in terms of sports.
Right. We also plan. We shall. Yeah. I can't hear Edwin. Yeah, but we also plan to be doing our Sunday Nation Sport
Go ahead.
every Sunday. We shall be letting our viewers know. We shall bring in Kiumro of rugby and also Addison, as usual, will always be here. So thank you so much for your time, Mr. Addison. And